Let's talk about messaging.
Mm.
Messaging. You talk about this often, Reese Colbert.
Mm-hmm.
President Joe Biden gave a speech and he talked about his friend. I thought he was quoting the Golden Girls theme song. His friend, Senator Mitch McConnell. Listen to this.
Vice President Harris, Majority Leader Schumer, Mitch McConnell. Mitch, I don't want to hurt your reputation, but we really are friends. and that is not an epiphany we're having here at the moment. You've always done exactly what you've said. You're a man of your word, and you're a man of honor. Thank you for being my friend.
Damn it.
Now, I will say he has always done exactly what he said. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not a man of honor.
No, absolutely not.
Reese, I was so right now. I mean, considering they would call it the legislative graveyard, the amount of bills that Mitch McConnell had on his desk when he was the Senate Majority Leader. This is the man who told Senator Chuck Schumer, well, why don't we both be the majority? Remember that? Why don't we both be the majority leader? I don't really want to give up this power. This is the man who took the filibuster rule to a whole new level years ago, to a whole new level of insidiousness. And considering there are some key things that have been done, but there are some very important things that have not been done. And if the narrative is that blame goes to the Republicans, well, it damn sure goes to Senator Mitch McConnell. I think Senator Mitch McConnell is a dangerous, obstructive person.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget that he put Daniel Cameron in power. That was his protege, rather, a man who had little to no experience in the courtroom. And then what happens with that? We have someone like Breonna's Taylor family not getting justice. Yeah. Messaging, Reese. What are your thoughts on this?
First of all, I'm not Biden's defender in chief. I'm VP's defender in chief. So he on his own with that with jail. But this is what you get when going back to the primaries. It takes a white man to be the white man. So you get a white man. We still got a white man who's president. So I think that speaks for itself. And I think there's this kind of collegiality that they have, like, we leave what happens on the Senate floor, and we're still buddies. We're old pals. It's war. And I don't know if Biden knows that. I don't know if this is just public posturing to try to, butter him up a little bit, but it is war. And I
war
think
for our democracy, saving the soul of the nation. Isn't that what
he said?
President Biden said?
Ain't that what he said? It was Charlottesville, that not the other stuff. Okay, that it was when Charlotte. Okay, that's fine. I already addressed that when he announced his campaign in 2019. But it's overkill. You know what I'm saying? I think he sincerely feels that way, but he has to understand how it looks, and there's all this talk about uniting the country and, President Biden is supposed to unite the country. We ain't united. We ain't going to be united. Okay. And as a matter of fact, it's getting more extreme, and it's not because of us. We're still asking for the same basic shit we've been asking for decades. And the Republicans are escalating in the extremism when you have, I just tweeted earlier about, in Oklahoma, they're trying to fine teachers $10,000 out of their personal pocket if they teach something that is offensive to Christians. This is what the Republicans are doing. This is extremism. And Mitch McConnell is leading the charge in the Senate. And he has done that consistently when he said he was going to make President Obama a one-term president. You were the vice president, Biden. So I just don't think that he recognizes that this kind of old buddy, old pal language is a little bit of a suppressive tactic to much of his base. Maybe not to all of his base, but to much of his base, because it just has some cognitive dissonance. And I ain't gonna defend it. I'm just gonna act like I didn't see it. If he get dragged, that's on him. but you got to understand the stakes of what we're looking at right now. And I don't think a few nice words to Mitch McConnell is going to move the needle with him at all. And it just really looks like you don't know how hard this fight is that we have against the Republicans. They have a name, Republicans specifically.
And this idea that oh, we're on the Senate floor, once upon a time Joe Biden was a senator, and we're fighting for policy, but we're all friends afterward. This is not a job at Target. No. Where your friend is a cashier, he's working your nerves. This is not a random job in corporate America where you might have a tense moment in a meeting, but y'all are still going to have drinks after work. This is why am I more outraged at Senator Mitch McConnell than President Joe Biden? He is literally obstructing your policy, your vision. Mm-hmm. This is not some random job. And I've even heard, my Senator Cory Booker, talk about that Senator Tim Scott is his friend. Cotton to Congress is his friend. Cotton to Congress, he alone, well, I shouldn't say he alone. He was a main factor in the George Floyd Policing Act failing.
Right.
This is our lives are at risk. And if y'all are buddies and on the phone chit chat and text and sending memes to each other, if y'all are that, maybe it's just better messaging for us not to know that. Exactly. Because if he is your friend, then why isn't your friend working with you to get policy passed? Mm-hmm. This is Congress. You are the president. These are people in the Senate. They have power over our lives. I'm taking this personal.
Yeah.
And and to go back to Reconstruction, there were no Black folks in the Senate before Hiram Revels in 1870. But as they're passing those early laws, Thaddeus Stevens was not getting along with the Southern white Democrats.
Right.
He was dragging them to hell. He was outraged by them.
Well, even look at how they do it, like in the UK, they be up in there, in other governments, they be up there dragging the shit out of each other. If you see their public proceedings, they ain't up there like my friend, they at war. Sometimes they even throwing fisticuffs and all kind of stuff.
In China, I'm not saying we need that, but just still like friends. You're a man of honor. A man of honor,
Chad. What kind of honor?
Really? It was just disappointing to hear it. It's just messaging. You didn't have to say it.
No.
And if that's your boy is doing you wrong.
Yeah.
And if that's your boy, are you calling him every night? Hey, what's up, Addison? That's his real name. Yo, Addison, listen, how are we going to get this past, Addison? I've known you for years.
Yeah.
Is that how is this friendship working? How is this friendship functioning? For us,
y'all agree to disagree, friends, because we don't need to know that. But
and wasn't President Biden's platform that, well, I'm the guy that can go in there and work with Congress. I'm the guy that could talk to them. So listen, I'm not. There are plenty of things I like about the administration, but that was just so disappointing to hear. You're a man of honor. No, you're not a man of honor.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
You're a man of dishonor.
And help me out, because I don't know if I've heard like Speaker Pelosi say my friend Mitch McConnell. No, maybe she does, but that. I can't recall a time where she does that.
I don't remember that. She ain't doing that.
She might, maybe.
I don't.
Every now and again, she might say our friends across the aisle. I guess, that might be as far as she goes.
Regular language. No, I don't see. Listen, I don't see Senator Warnock saying that. I know he just got into the Senate, but I just don't see I don't see Vice President Kamala Harris saying my friend Mitch McConnell. I don't see that happening.
And they don't match energy because who was the guy Purdue? Remember he went down in Atlanta, Kamala, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, what the fuck? What happened to this whole decorum that you guys are supposed to have as peers in the Senate? That was Kamala, blah, 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 blah. And even Mitch McConnell was like, well, I thought he was my friend, but maybe he ain't shit after all. Like even Mitch McConnell was, when they were talking about the voting rights thing. So why do you have to have that energy? Maybe it's the Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high, but I'm tired of going high. So I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I was disappointed. It's just not great messaging. It's not good. He's not a man of honor. There's policy that's being blocked. He's not a man of honor. Listen, if he was getting stuff done, I'd be fine with it. I would say, okay, I don't really care about your. I mean, the reason why I have an issue with the Republicans because they're blocking policy. They're literally blocking it, and our lives are affected by it. So, yeah, that doesn't help you, bro. That doesn't
Not
help you.
good.
And if he's
Not
your
good.
boy, clearly y'all are not on the same page. Are y'all going out to drink and eat? Like, what? You're a man of honor. And if that's his tactic to get him to push policy, to get him to put other Republicans on the team of voting, quote unquote, bipartisan, then I want to see it now.
Yeah. But I will say this, in his defense, we know that the Biden team can be real mean and nasty behind closed doors, right? So they definitely have a different public posture than they do privately. And even he has said at times, I don't know if you remember in his press conference where he said, well, I haven't publicly said anything a certain kind of way. So I think behind closed doors, he probably do be giving people the business low key, probably not as much as he would need to, but I do think that there is slightly different public posturing as opposed to maybe the private conversations that he has.
Let's go to a call here. Let's go to Brenda from Missouri. What's up, Brenda?
Hi, Clay. Hi, Reese.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Hi.
Doing all right.
Good, good. I love you guys together. I listen to you every Thursday. So yeah, Joe Biden is one of those that, bless his heart, Mitch McConnell is a demon. He can't be trusted. You're not going to reach across the aisle and say, hey, friend, come on over to my side. I hate that. I love that he wants to do that, but it ain't going to work. And another thing, Clay, do you ever see masses of white people like marching and protesting for something like we do? They don't. They vote.
Well, January 6th insurrection. That was a mass.
Right. But I mean, for
the betterment,
every issue, for the issues that happen, they're not in the streets protesting because they're being done wrong. They just go to the ballot box and they elect, people to the school board and this, that, and the other. They get extreme. We need to adopt their tactic. That's all I'm saying. I'm tired of marching.
Well, Reese, you've often said that part of the problem is just we got to beg our side to vote, sadly, and the other side does not need to be begged or tempted. No. They're good. They're good. They get it. And, especially the conservative side.
Mitch McConnell said, I ain't got no proposal. I ain't got no policies I'm putting forward. We don't have a platform we running on. We just not them.
Right. And they're like, yep, I'll be there to vote.
And they're like, I'm going to give you guys enough rope to hang yourselves with. And we just going to be on the other side. Like, okay, we over here still, they don't have to put forth anything tangible. We got to put forth a 10-point plan. I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then when any of those one things doesn't happen, I ain't going to vote. Democrats ain't shit. Right. We need third party, blah, blah, blah. Okay. They're not, this is not an autonomous government where the Democrats can solely go at it. And then that's not even talking about the fact that there are 30 states that have Republican governance. The difference between us and them is that the Republicans leave no stone unturned. They go for the education board, and the local board of education, they go for dog commissioners, catcher. Everything. You said dog catcher?
They go for it all. They want power over everything.
Period. I mean, the Secretary of State, they are looking at every single position on how they can harness power. And we looking at the president and the vice president. Supposed to magic wand solve everything. So that's what we have been saying. But the unfortunate part is we keep saying vote, vote, vote. And people don't do it to the extent they need to do. And they're like, well, we've been voting. Nah, not all of y'all. Haven't. And not at every level. So until that changes, we're going to continue to have to beg people to vote. And as far as marching, you don't have to march if you take your ass out there and vote. There's a place for marching. There is a place for that. But I would say the easiest thing that you could possibly do, even as hard as they try to make it, is vote. That's the easiest way to have the biggest impact on anything that's happening in your community.
You know, during the 1980s, which was one of the most horrific times for Black and brown folks, because we have the Reagan administration and who was slashing funding all over, yet supporting the apartheid. I mean, Reagan was disgusting. Our voter turnout, midterms, presidential election, it was in the 50% range, less than 50% range. And then within that, you still had about 8 or 9% who were voting Republican.
Yeah.
So that means Democrat, we're now down to like 42%. I mean, even in the 90s, it wasn't that great either. And I understand why folks may not be enthused, but the 80s, it was a terrible time. And we're still suffering from the economic policies that Reagan put into place.
Yeah.
Some of those are still in place. We're still suffering because of that. So it's true. And I say it every day, Reese. In 1867, we had 80% voter turnout, Black voter turnout. Not Black women, sadly, but 1867, 1867, 80%.
Yeah.
80%. That's a lot.
And here's the thing.
And that's no mail-in voting either. That's no mail-in. That's going to and risking your life among white terror.
Probably doing literacy tests and guessing how many gumballs is in.
Right.
Like
80%. We have to go to a break.
I mean,
go ahead. Finish
I was just gonna say, if you're giving something for free and you have a chance, like if somebody says, oh, to get the scratcher, you have a 50-50 chance of winning $1, I'm gonna fill out that damn scratcher. So like, maybe I won't win $1, but I'm gonna fill it out anyway. And that's how you should look at voting. You might not make a difference, but you might make a difference. And on the chance that you can make a difference, it's a whole lot more worth the energy to do that than to definitely not make a difference.